Ever since I was a little boy, I have always been fascinated by books. However, I was always too lazy to read them unless it had pictures in it. Now that I'm an adult, I love reading books and it's sometimes the highlight of my day. Now that I have been watching anime for quite some time now, I have found a new way to consume this kind of content, but in the form of a book. This is when I started reading manga. If you are an anime only watcher, you may be wondering, why would I flip through a manga when I could just watch the anime? These are the same thoughts I had when considering reading manga, and I'm so glad that I finally decided to do so. When reading manga, it reminds me of those childhood days when I would flip through comics and I was always excited to look at the artwork. There is just a certain charm that I can't get over when reading manga. There's something about flipping through those pages and looking at the panels that gets me super engulfed in the story. When reading the right manga, it never feels like I'm reading a manga. It feels more so like I'm watching a story unfold. Not every manga will do this to you, as in there are some terrible ones out there. Very terrible ones out there. But when you find the right one for you, it's such a pleasant experience. For example, I have been reading Berserk lately and the story is crafted so well and the artwork is so well done. In fact, that's an understatement. The artwork for this manga is amazing and it's one of the best that I have flipped through. There are some manga out there that have such good artwork that it should never have an anime. Manga like Goodnight Punpun, Vagabond, I Am a Hero, and Blood on the Tracks. These are artwork or art styles that would be extremely difficult or near impossible to do justice in the form of an animation. For example, Junji Ito is one of the best horror mangakas of all time, and it has some of the creepiest and scariest artwork that I have ever seen. His artwork is another example of something that shouldn't be animated. Oh wait, it actually did get an anime adaptation, but the animations are so janky and it doesn't nearly capture the sheer terror that Junji Ito's artwork can send down your spine. Stories like Uzumaki, Remina, No Longer Human, and so many more stories that leave you in sheer terror after reading them. The anime makes it look like a Junji Ito parody, a pretty shitty one at that. However, sometimes a manga can seem near impossible to animate, but some studios manage to pull this off. A good example is Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure has one of the most unique and beautiful art styles of a manga that I have ever seen. Each character has such a unique character design that gets you interested in each character shown in the story. Now, I haven't personally read the manga, but I have watched the anime and I have seen the manga artwork. And I have to say that the animations are so well done that it complements the manga's art style so well. It's amazing to see that the studio David Production was able to capture the uniqueness of Jojo's art style. It left me in pure admiration for the series, and I have to check out the manga. Without further ado, here are some manga that I personally recommend that I have found enjoyment out of and that I think are good for newcomers. Number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen. If you have seen the anime, then you know how fire JJK is. With all of the cool action scenes and likable characters, JJK is held in a very high regard. JJK is one of the best shonen manga in the game right now, and it is definitely worth checking out. In the story, you follow a young teenage boy named Yuji Itadori who has above average physical capabilities but enjoys his occult club rather than playing any sports. With the retrieving of a dangerous cursed object, Yuji is pushed into a world of evil curses that were here in the human world all along. With possession of the cursed object, Yuji is informed by a teenage sorcerer named Megumi Fishigaru that Yuji and his friends are in danger by possessing this cursed object. In a desperate attempt to save him and his friends, Yuji is forced into ingesting the cursed object to kill the curse and ends up resurrecting one of the strongest curses that now lives within his body. This is where Yuji is forced to make one of two hard decisions. Either he gets executed or he has to work with the sorcery world to find the remaining cursed objects. JJK is one of the best shonen manga that I have ever came across, and with the manga being on its 148th chapter, there is so much material to be discovered in this action-packed manga. Also, if you have watched the anime, this manga will allow you to unpack the latest parts of the story without having to wait for the rest of the anime. So make sure you check it out, it won't disappoint. The next manga is called Hell's Paradise. In the story, you follow a brutal ninja assassin named Gabimaru the Hollow, who wants to escape his life as an assassin and wants to live a peaceful, normal life. This makes his boss extremely upset to the point he sentences Gabimaru to death. However, with Gabimaru not wanting to die, he is given the choice to either be sentenced to death or go to a dangerous island known as Hell's Paradise, where he will retrieve an elixir of life and will be rewarded a pardon. island that will ensure him the peaceful life that he wants. However, he isn't the only one going on this island. There are dangerous criminals in the same position as Gabimaru who will be traveling to the island as well. All of them will be accompanied by an executioner just in case they try to escape the island without completing the mission. This manga is a very exciting read and one that I couldn't put down when I first started reading it. There are so many plot twists in this manga that will leave you constantly anticipating what will happen next. So check it out, it won't disappoint. Next is Chainsaw Man. In the story, you follow a young orphan teenage boy named Denji who is forced to pay back his dead father's debt to a man a part of the Yakuza by killing devils with his pet devil dog named Pochita. One day, Denji gets betrayed by the man who makes a deal with the devil in exchange for Denji's life. Down on his luck, Denji is forced into a situation where he's in a room full of devils that he ultimately gets killed by. However, his pet Pochita merges with Denji to bring back his life to kill the devils that killed him. Merging with Pochita turns him into a chainsaw man that wreaks havoc on the devils that attempted to kill him. This is Denji's journey as a chainsaw man. This also leads him to meeting a cute girl who brings him into an organization to become a devil hunter. This is where he will hunt devils until the end of his life. I have only read the first volume of this manga and it already has me hooked. Just like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man is held in a very high regard and is one of the best new shonen manga out there. Also, the art style for this manga is very unique, which separates itself from any other shonen manga out there. Chainsaw Man offers a very raw and uncut feel to the shonen demographic that hasn't been seen on this level, so check it out, it won't disappoint. Last but not least, we have Spy Family. In the story, you follow an expert spy named Twilight who gets tasked to go on dangerous missions. Twilight is an expert at being undercover and posing as another person. One day he is tasked to take down a government official who could possibly be a danger to a truce between the East and the West. However, this task will not be easy. In the time frame of a week, Twilight must get married and have a child that will attend a prestigious school. This government official has a child that attends the school, which will ultimately allow Twilight to get close to him and complete his mission. The family Twilight ends up creating is an adopted little girl named Anya who is telepathic and marrying a woman who is a brutal assassin. The funny thing about this family is that they all don't know about each other except the telepathic girl who can read the thoughts of her new parents. This manga is a very fun read and one that keeps the reader interested. This manga has many comedic moments, tense moments, and very warm-hearted moments that will make you attached to the characters in the story. So, follow a family that knows nothing about each other as they figure out how to become a real family and keep their identities private. So check it out, it won't disappoint. In conclusion, I want to note that I'm not an expert on manga by any means necessary. In fact, I am a complete beginner. Therefore, if you have lots of experience with reading manga, please recommend me some manga to read in the comment section below. So that will wrap up today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications to get notified every time I post a new video. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and peace.